Hello everyone and welcome to Art on the Brain. You're with Mama Brain and let's get into some tie-dye designs. So at the start I just take all the labels off some medium and large shirts. You can use any shirts. 100% cotton I'm using, but you can use up to 75% cotton, I'm fairly sure. And here we go with some sodium carbonate or soda ash. I buy this online, and some hot water from the kettle, and I mix about maybe 4 tablespoons in about 2 liters of hot water, and I mix it up until it's, make sure you start mixing as soon as you start doing it, and when it's dissolved you can add all the shirts in. Now it's very hot, but I've got pretty hardy hands from cooking, so I just sort of flip it over like that. But if you've got weak hands, maybe wait till it cools down a little bit till you do this part. Make sure you soak these shirts for about 20 minutes. I'm just adding more water because it wasn't enough water, but that's okay. And here I am just smushing it. This is actually really fun, I don't know why. And then I hang them out on the line to drip dry a little bit, because squeezing them out, I can't even get enough squeezed out. There is little tiny brain. So here we are, skipping to what we're actually going to lie the tie-dye on to dye it. This is a very important step actually. You can use any sort of wire rack like this that has holes in it. And I'm just sort of wiping it down just in case there's any dust on it, because it has been a while since I've actually tie-dyed. So I'm just making sure there's no dust, just not to dilute anything. And also you want to clean the bars just in case there's like rust or any excess like dye from before. Oh, there's Sanji. He decided he wanted to join. Now I need a clean table here that I just took everything off, because it's easy to fold wet garments, because the garments are actually going to be a little bit wet still. They've got a little bit of dirt on it, don't worry about that. That'll come off in the wash. That's not going to stain the shirt. That's from the washing line. I think my washing line's a little bit dirty. Whoopsie. So here I am just folding the shirts, and I'm just going to do top to bottom and pull it up, just one side of the shirt. And this actually makes the design even on both sides by pulling the sleeve inside the other one. And as you can see, there's like a way that I flip it that I've learnt off, I think it's Collusion, I'm not sure, but there's a channel where he taught me how to do this. I'll have to link it down below. And I've sort of flipped it, and I'm going to make sure it's as flat as possible, and make sure the sleeve's inside that other sleeve and it's really flat, so that you can get the mirrored design as symmetrical as possible. Now I've got a washable marker, which is just a kid's marker, and a bowl, because I want to do a circle. And you can see little mini brain's hands over there. That's funny. Here I am making the semicircle for the actual circular design. All my giant rubber bands. As you know, you use rubber bands or some types of string. Oh, there's mini brain. And here I am just making sure that the shirt is lined up perfectly. Yep, and I'm going to squish, 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 and start doing sort of like when you make a fan out of paper, and you sort of just fold it like an accordion like this, and you follow the line to make the line straight across the folds, and that helps you make a perfect circle for the end design. And I just make sure I make it straight, and then I secure it with a rubber band. And once I've done that, I will make sure that all of these little lines are going up and down correctly, because I'm going to put bright colors on one side and a very dark color on the other side to create a striped pattern. And I feel like, or visually, the lighter colors pop more if you put a darker surrounding color, like an outline sort of thing. So that's what I'm doing now. And you make sure you make the accordion and you push down the layers so that they're straight lines. I mean, I'm not perfect at it yet. I guess it comes with practice, making the lines perfect, because I've seen a lot of YouTubers that make their lines, like Mr. Tie-Dye does his perfectly, and Collusion, I can't remember his name. I'm going to have to write that down, but he's very, very talented making straight lines. But he also uses rulers and protractors. I don't use rulers or protractors because I'm lazy, I guess. Maybe I'm lazy, but maybe I don't. It takes the enjoyment out of it for me when I make it too calculated. I don't know, maybe I'm a terrible builder. I don't measure anything. So I'm just adding all of these rubber bands and just making sort of lines to keep the cloth together in that particular design. I'm not actually trying to make extra stripes along the actual whole garment. Otherwise, I would have followed the rubber bands. There is a way where you follow the rubber bands and you make extra lines, but I'm not doing that. So here we are with the second shirt, and I'm just doing the same thing. I'm pulling the sleeve in, side the shirt. I'm sorry if you can hear Charlie Charlotte, that I've got a parrot here, and Mini Brain over here is Tiny Brain, I should call him, sorry. He is using a bouncy ball, so I'm really sorry about that. And I'm just doing the same process as I did last time, because I'm actually making 2 shirts but 2 different color schemes, so you can see how it turns out differently with different colors. Because honestly, when you use the warm color scheme or the cool color scheme or contrasting colors, they're all going to turn out differently. Every single shirt's going to turn out differently, so just keep that in mind. I have not made the same shirt again. I don't know how tie-dye manufacturers do it. You know, hats off to them that they can do it. I mean, they're cool, man. But every single time I've done a painting or anything, none of them have been the same. So here I am. I'm just lining up this line, and it's actually easier when the shirt is damp. So, and that's the way that you really want to do it, so that the shirt can absorb as much dye as possible and be like slightly damp, not soaking wet. That's why I put it out on the line for a little while. Some people put it in their washing machine, but my washing machine, it's new, but it doesn't have a setting to just make the thing go round and round. What do you call that? Get all the moisture out. Some people put it in the washing machine. My washing machine doesn't do that for some reason. And now I'm adding up all of the rubber bands. Obviously, you can see that. I'm nearly done. Here we go. And this is the second design. So this time I'm not pulling it inside out. I actually, knowing what the end product is, I'm just going to tell you right now, I wish I had pulled it through the sleeve on this design, on this particular design, because it ended up being one side took all the dye and the other side had only a little bit of dye, and I do not know, like, that's really frustrating to me. So next time, if you're going to do this design, you should probably do that. Now, going back to what I just did, I put a line down to follow just to make it more of a curved line to go across instead of just straight down. You could go straight down, up and down with the accordion to make these tiger stripes, but because I think this is what this design is, tiger stripes, really, because I've made this design before and it's really fun. It helps when you're like learning to do the accordion, to make it all straight and to do lines. Just securing it with a really giant, what you don't want to do is squish the material in too much, otherwise you lose those crisp lines and you don't get enough dye on the line. So you want to keep it firm but loose at the same time, if that makes any sense. Like, you don't want to squeeze it, and I've found out here that these rubber bands are too big for this tiny part, so I end up trying to put it on, as you can see, failing. Charlie, sorry, that's my bird. And so I went back and got some smaller rubber bands, and they worked perfectly. Like, I didn't have to sort of suffocate the material. I could just hold it in place like that. And like, you've got to be gentle with it. It's not like you can throw it around in the air and stuff. It's just to keep it in a certain design while you dye it. You don't have to do them extremely tight unless you want lines, like white lines going through your design, which I might do that next time. I'll show you how to make white lines and make a love heart or a circle, or I know how to make a geode pattern, so comment down below if you'd like me to show you how to do that. And I just do the same as the other one. I just keep the lines. These are a lot straighter because this is the tiger stripe design. So when we do this, I think I'm moving on to the next one now. And I just do the exact same thing, except it's just a smaller shirt. I mean, I've made the line differently to the other one, but as I said before, I don't make any two shirts the same. I'm really sorry you couldn't see the folding at the start there. I was trying to talk to my children at the same time as doing this. So here we are, just folding it. Seriously, I've done this about 10 times. I feel like I've gotten better even after 10 times. So just keep practicing, guys. I think the main thing is to use high quality dyes. If you use low quality dyes, that is where it's going to be a lot of mistakes. So here we go. I'm just adding and I love this. This is so satisfying. Putting it into accordion like this. I really enjoy doing that. And in fact, I encourage anyone to do tie-dyeing. This is really relaxing and it's really fun. And you get a gift at the end, like a surprise. It's really cool. So here I am going towards, I'm just sort of mapping out where I want to put the colors. You don't have to do this. You can put colors randomly and that will still turn out really good. And I just wanted to see if this actually changed the color placement. So that's why I ended up putting these crisscross patterns so that I could place the colors in certain spots and see if that made a different design, because usually I would just put the colors wherever I felt like it, and those designs turned out sick, really cool. So next time I think I'll just put them randomly again, because I felt like this was just a waste of time. In some designs, it's not a waste of time, I have to say, but I'm not doing those sorts of designs. So here we go. This is my wire rack, and I'm just going to do 2 colors schemes on this one, which means I'm just going to use blues. Oh no, this is not the blues one, sorry. This is the yellows and the reds and the oranges. So I just put the ones that I was doing, the 1 colors on the racks so that I didn't mix colors, because I've done it where I've done it on a huge rack and I've used all rainbow colors and I didn't want colors to touch the other ones. That didn't work. The colors still went into the other shirts because you make mistakes, powder flies everywhere, and it just destroys this color. So just try and keep it to the same shirts and do those shirts at the same time. I can't describe that properly. Oh, that was Ted. He's flying. So here I am. I'm just putting the yellow, and I know it looks orangey, poopy color, but it's actually yellow. All the dyes, because they're so concentrated, they don't look like their color. So make sure you got containers with some colors on them so you can see or read what color they are, because by looking at them, you wouldn't know what they're going to turn out as. So I'm just putting them on the squares, just sort of guessing where I want to put them. I'm not putting them in a diamond pattern because it's not that important to me to make those diamond creations. At this stage, I'm just testing out whether the squares will make the colors look in a pattern when we unfold it. So here we go with the next color. This color is red. So as you can see, it's really dark there, but it's actually not that dark when you wash it out. So I've only got a little bit of this red. I wish I had more of this red dye, but I must have used it too much on a different shirt. So next time, definitely add way more red. Like, I didn't add enough red. This red did not grab onto the material, which was a bit annoying. This is orange. I know it looks red, but it's actually orange, and that grabbed really, really well. But I had a lot of orange because my brother's favorite color is orange. And I made a really nice shirt for him in the past. And I'm sort of mushing it down with the spoon because I'm just mushing it into the material to make it really colourful there. I know a lot of people don't bother with that. Some people put ice on the top to make it melt through the colour. And I actually, I've done that and it looks really good. So next time I'll probably use ice dye and I'll show you how to ice dye it. But this time I'm just going to use hot water because if you don't have squeezy bottles, if you don't have Like, you know, sometimes you just want to make a few little projects. You don't want to buy squeezy bottles. You know, it ends up being really, really expensive to make tie-dye if you have to go out and buy every single thing and it just sits in your cupboard and you never do it again. No, just do it this way. This is, you know, much easier. I know my auntie would be screaming at me that I'm using spoons, but, you know, you can wash them, metal washers. So here we go. Here's my hot water. And I'm just going to slowly drip it on. I'm actually really slowly dripping it on, but I'm actually going to fast forward it because you'd probably get bored watching me do this for an hour. So, yeah, I'm slowly dripping this on in real life. I've just sped this up and I've put on enough to sort of soak through halfway through the material. In hindsight, I should have put a little bit more on. So you never know. You never know what's going to grab and what's not going to grab. So it's just trial and error. They're going to turn out cool anyway. So don't stress too much. And here I am just testing how far it's gone through. You can look through the other side. See, it's come through a little bit there. And on the other one, I just looked through the accordions. So I'm going to show you now what it should look like if it's halfway soaked through. You get your little finger or a little device and see how it's soaked through enough to make, there it's soaked through a lot more. I should have put more in the first area over there, but that's okay. It still looks good. And flip them over. So make sure you flip them over in a different spot because otherwise they'll get dye on that side. And here I'm going to be using I showed you black, but I ended up grabbing the navy, which I don't know why I did that. I'm so silly. But that's okay. Navy was very dark as well. And honestly, there wasn't much difference between using black and navy anyway, because navy and black go with literally every color. So here I am just doing one solid color on the other side to make the stripes. And that's why we do the accordion, because that's what makes the stripes. Hello, Charlie. And there we go. I didn't want to add don't add too much of the black or the dark grays or the navies because it is so strong. It will take over your whole thing. So just don't put too much on. You can put a lot of colors of yellows and greens and reds and oranges and stuff like that and purples. But yeah, with the darker colors like that, man, they're strong. So here I am. I got a plastic bag for each one and you put the dark color side down. You do not want to put the dark color side up because otherwise it will soak through and it will be a very muddy tie-dye. So second bag, I do not put them in the same bag just in case you accidentally push them on each other and the dye goes on the top. And honestly, I put them up really high so nobody touches them or moves them. And here I am. I'm just going to clean the wire again because the wire needs to be very, very clean before you start with a different color. And here's my second color scheme with the two different designs. And I just put it so that they drip down into this little basket. I know I need a bigger basket. Here I am. I've got some violet, African violet. And I actually wanted these to turn out predominantly purple, but they didn't. I was a bit sad about it, but the material just didn't take this dye. So hopefully next time I show you some tie-dye, I tried the jacquard. I've heard that jacquard, I don't know how you pronounce it, dyes are really, really good. But a lot of these dyes from this particular brand do not turn out as the same color that they advertise it should be. They turn out too red or too brown or too pink, and it has nothing to do with what the actual color should turn out as. And this is one of them. All the other dyes are fine from this brand, but the African violet and the peach, which I end up using, that turns out brown. So I'm a bit sad about that because I love the color peach. So, but you'll see that down the line when I use that. Now I'm using some Hawaiian blue and some Tahitian blue as well. One of them's more of a tealy blue. I think they should have added more green in the dye. This is magenta pink, just to mix with the blues to make another purple. This is the peach color. Now, as you can see, it goes on that color, which is quite normal for peach colors, but it just turns out brown. I don't know. Every single time I've used it, it turns out brown. So Yeah, every single method I've used it as. And here I am just adding hot water to soak it into the actual shirts. And I'm actually going really slow here, but I've sped it up so that you don't have to endure the actual time that it takes. But it's really fun in real life. When you're doing it, it's actually really fun. So don't be discouraged by how long this process takes, because it is really fun. And I've got some Pokemon cards on the table from the kids for some reason. And here I am moving the sheet of metal across just to flip them over so they don't get damaged. This is black. I was supposed to use navy on this one, but black will do, I suppose. And I'm just putting, see how small, like how little dye I put of black here? I did not put much at all because it's so strong. And even in acrylic paints, black is strong. And here I am with the hot water again, and I just slowly add this. And that's done, and I'll put them in the bags. So, oh, there's Tiny Brain again. He's decided he's gonna do something to my tripod. And oh, look at my hands. And yes, your hands, unless you wear gloves, will be dyed like that. I don't really bother with gloves because I'm an artist. And I'm really sorry I didn't show you the previous to this, but this is just me rinsing them off in cold water. I do them outside because it's very messy and it stains. So doing it on the grass, hosing them off. I actually hose them off for about 30 minutes altogether. And this is what it looks like when it's just been rinsed with cold water. It looks really strong still. And then, sorry I didn't get the other ones, but then you put them in the washing machine separately with some detergent. And here they are on the line, the finished result. And I thought they turned out really, really trippy. I hope the ladies that I made them for really love them. See how strong the black color is? And these are the oranges and the reds, which definitely tiger stripes. And this one turned out so cool, but see the peach color turned out brown? Close up of this one. I hope you love them. They're very fun to make. I'll add more purple next time to this shirt. And this one I'll have to add more orange, I think. But it looks cool still. Very cool. See you next time. Bye!